No kisses? She don't want kisses. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine. I'm the owner of Daily Rose. I make stickers, stationery, custom designs, and apparel. Today's video, we're gonna talk about how to get the Cricut to register lines. I've gotten a lot of questions about this on TikTok, and usually I always respond on TikTok, but I feel like it's just so much to fit into one video, and sometimes multiple videos can get lost, so I figured why not just make a whole video about it so that I can just direct people here if they ever need it. I made a handy dandy list on my notepad. I haven't released this one yet. I'm still iffy about it. Look at that backing. I love my backings. Also, if you haven't checked it out, go check out my website. I just launched my website 2 weeks ago. It's been pretty good so far. I'm going to talk about the tip, and then I'll insert a clip of me showing you how to do it. I actually have some oopsie sheets that I can practice on, so that works out great. So first tip is matte tape and a Sharpie. So matte tape is the tape that is a little cloudy, like you can't really see through it. And then simple as a Sharpie. The matte tape trick, right? We'll take our matte tape, cover up the line or anything that got covered by the laminate, and then you'll take your Sharpie and you'll just go over that line so that it sees where it was. See, and you see how the holographic laminate went over the register line? That's where you would put the tape. Right? You would put it over. Make sure you don't get your sticker. I almost got mine. But yeah, put it over that. Take my Sharpie, go over that line so that it realizes that's where the registration line is, and it won't get confused, because we need a little help sometimes, right? See? So before I would have to do that to that portion as well, but that's how it was, and see, it basically covered it. You can barely see, you can't even see any holographic, but yep. Also, a key thing that is important is, first up, what kind of paper are you using? Are you using matte paper or are you using glossy paper? Glossy paper tends to be the most annoying thing when it comes to registering lines, and that's why, like number one's tip, the matte tape and the Sharpie will help a lot, because you can just tape over the lines with matte tape and draw over them with Sharpie to make sure the black is known. Or sometimes you don't even need the tape and you can just outline the lines itself, but I usually put the matte tape over it and outline. Also, it could vary depending on the sticker paper you have, like not just matte or glossy, like the actual brand of sticker paper, that could also vary. So it is really a bunch of trial and error in what works for your brand that you have and what works for you and your Cricut, because everyone's is always different. So holographic paper, that could also mess up reading the lines, because you know it kind of changes color depending on the light situation, so that could F with the lines. Also, what would go in hand in helping that would be the Sharpie trick. Because I have butterfly hollow stickers, and when I print those, I want to say I usually don't have a problem, maybe in the beginning, but I think I calibrated and that worked. And that will go in hand with our next step, is calibration. I will show you in a second, but Cricut will have you print out a paper and then you'll insert it in your Cricut. It will read those lines, and then it will basically go over and ask you which one's closest to the middle, basically. And I believe you have 3 times to do it before you have to contact support, and I've never had to contact support. Usually when I get to that point, I step away and take a break a bit and everything's fine, but I know people have contacted support before, and usually sometimes they may even give you a new Cricut, but Don't quote me on it. Another tip is do not block the registration lines when you're laminating, especially if it's holographic laminate too. I think that would mess with it even more. So what I like to do is trim the paper inside the lines so that I know the laminate is just gonna fit inside the box and not be out of the lines. Now, just because I do that doesn't mean it always works out, right? So that's where the tape trick comes into play. And most likely it won't be the whole box that I completely covered when missing a spot. So usually it's just a few strokes that I have to fix. So it's not that bad, honestly. Another very important tip as well is to play with your lighting. Experiment with different lights on, because, you know, since Cricut has that sensor, it's very sensitive to certain lights, or if it's too dark, too bright, you know. Definitely daylight is the best. I highly recommend that. I usually can't do that all the time because my window is on the side of the house. In my apartment, I used to be able to do it all the time because we were facing where the sun would always shine, but not as always here. So I had to play around with my lighting as well when I moved to the house. It's weird. I'll have to have one lamp on, need the ceiling light on, but eventually it just would not work. So I just kept one light on, and then I'll show you in a second, but my Cricut top is down. Usually it's up, but the down helps somehow. I don't know, it works. I don't question it. It's all I care about is the stickers coming out great. And for the last tip is the matte tape on the light sensor on the Cricut. But I've seen people on TikTok do this. I myself have not tried this yet. I personally don't use glossy paper a lot, and I think that's when this trick comes into play most of the time. And you'll just cover up the sensor and magic. I've seen people's Cricut magically work after covering that sensor light. I will look for videos and link them down below too, so then that can be explained further. And then here's also another tip. Not necessarily this goes into play with registering the lines, but with making sure your stickers cut all the way around and like not off border type. Like I don't know when this happened or after what update it happened, but I used to make the sticker border, the white sticker border on Procreate, and import that together into Cricut, but now I just import the actual design and then I use the offset setting in Cricut and make my borders that way, and that has guaranteed 99.9% of the stickers cutting perfectly, like no miss or anything. So that's also a tip. I don't know if anyone needs that tip, but there you go. Alright guys, that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you. Let me know if you have any further questions. You can always shoot me an email, message me, and I will help you the best way I can. Let me know if you guys have any other requests on things you need explained more, or any tutorials specifically. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Just hit me with those brown eyes. Wanna take a ride, wanna roll the dice. I'm not just another one.